Good morning, y'all. This is Angie from Happy Girl Paper Crafting here, and today I'm going to be showing a project from a series that's going to be for the whole year of 2026, I believe, called This Is My Story. So today's the cover page, and it's a project assigned to me by my Western Hearts team leader, Cindy Jackson, and I'm really excited about this project because I think that I would like for my kids to know my story from my point of view. So there'll be things about where I grew up, the jobs I've had over the years, of course about them, my kids and my husband, and my extended family and friends and stuff like that. So I'm pretty excited about the project. I hope it inspires you to do something similar about your life. So enjoy this cover page and then start thinking about what you might want to do if you were going to tell your story. All right, here is a designer series paper I'm going to use called Peaceful Garden, and it is just beautiful. The blues and blue-greens are awesome. Look at this beautiful floral, and then the backside has these stars on it. It's so pretty. There are 4 sheets each of the double-sided papers, and then look at these with the leaves and this washed-out cloud cover paper. I love that washed-out color. I love that color anyway, and it's just beautiful. All right, look at this. It's like a little mini floral in the misty moonlight, washed out. Love that. I don't know why I love that washed out. And then the doves on the back on the Secret Sea background. Secret Sea is one of my absolute favorites right now. And then this is a misty moonlight and Secret Sea and cloud cover all in one on the leaf pattern. And then we have a washed out cloud cover pattern that is a fan favorite of mine. And then we have crumb cake. It's a pattern with a washed look to it as well. And then the doves on the misty moonlight background, which is really neat for religious. Pretty little sprigs and white on the Secret Sea background. Love it. And then this is so cool that I could use this for Pompeii, I think, whenever I document my trip. And then, so like I said, I already went over some of the colors that these were. All right, I want to run through real quick the Country Woods paper because it is just gorgeous. Everybody's loving this in the scrapbooking world here. This is kind of a neat washed out wood color. Look at this blue and then these stripy beech wood colors there. And there's some dark and light woods here. Just so many uses for these folks. And then, oh, I love both of these colors. They're so pretty. And then some more. These have a neat mixed in color there that's like pecan pie. And then these are kind of like that washed out wood and kind of the perfect panel wood there. All right, so here's my picture that I'm going to be using, and here the pages that I've chosen from the Peaceful Garden set are this leaf and then the washed out background, and that's what I'll use that washed out cloud cover for as the background. The leaf is probably going to be sitting off to the side, and then I've got this wood color that is in that blue, and I think it is Misty Moonlight blue. And then look at this. I pulled this from an upcoming paper pack called Nature Walk, and I love it. Now that's more of a Night of Navy color with a wash center. All right, so I thought about using the wood grain as a kind of the background for my photo after I mat it in like white, which I realized that wasn't white, that was basic beige. So I'll be bringing in white for the background. And then like I said, this washed out cloud cover, let's lay this out. This washed out cloud cover is going to be my base page. All right, I think that is I like that light color with all these blues on top of it. And I'm going to do the leafy pattern along the left side and then make a circle out of that blue paper that's from the Nature Walk. And maybe still thinking about that. Oh, here, I came across my little blue paper with the little mini flowers on there, and it has that awesome washed out background. So now that I have my photo, I'm going to use that blue floral as a background for that. I love that. I think that's going to be so pretty because you can really see the white. Now, I have the distressed edges, and you see what you see here is I'm distressing the edges some more, just to kind of fluffs them up and makes them look kind of cool. But I'm doing it for another reason to all of my papers in this set. There's my Tim Holtz edge distresser. And I'm doing this to make the edges white. So see, whenever I cut my piece down for my photo mat there, it had kind of white around the edges, and that's what it does. And once I cut my circle here, you can see my circle. Look at the edges. Once I rough those up, they're all white because I have the white core. And so it's kind of like inking the edges in dark defines the paper. On these dark papers, by distressing the edges, it makes the edges white, and then it defines each different paper pattern that I have. And I decided to make banners out of those two pieces. The wood one, since I'm not going to use it as my photo mat, I used it as another smaller banner there. And I love that. I'm really happy with how that looks. So we're laying it all out here. Going to put my white matted photo right in the middle of that pretty blue mini floral washed out paper. And I am super happy with that. Okay, so there is a big old section of this washed out cloud cover that's going to get wasted if I don't cut out the center. So I'm pulling in my cool little circle cutter I got from Amazon for less than 15 bucks, and I'm adjusting it about an inch smaller than the circle I did in the darker blue paper so that I can save some of this paper. I'm going to get out the center of it with a circle. All right, so I'm centering the big center circle there, and then my cutting piece is right there, making sure it's going to go all the way around in the middle like I want it to. Now, holding down the center, I'm circling around my cutting blade piece, and I'm doing it twice just to ensure I get a good cut. And then that is going to enable me to pull out this big piece out of the middle that's a circle, and I like both sides of the pattern of this paper, so now I can use that on another project, and it's going to look great. Okay, really happy with that. I'm putting my blue circle back on there, and see how it totally covers up my circle? I'm not even going to miss it on this layout. It's going to make the whole thing lighter too. All right, I'm going to lay everything back out here. There's my leafy pattern, and there's my wood grain banner, and they're side by side looking pretty cool. And then my photo that I matted in white is sitting on that pretty mini floral with the washed out look. And I just thought that looked better because it had so much white mixed in. All right, I'm jumping ahead a little bit here because I lost a piece of footage, and I added a little piece, and I'm working on the title. Now this die set is called Swirled Design Dies, and I decided I'm going to cut some stars out of that to put on my little title, but also put around the page. It has the cool little scribble stars. Look at that. And for these, I used the Peaceful Garden Glimmer paper. It comes in 3 different colors. One's kind of secret sea, one is sort of like a cloud cover, and the other one is, I think, sort of misty moonlight. It's a brighter blue. And there, I'm laying these out here. I'm just kind of trying them out, seeing what I think. I had tinkered around with some flowers in that little footage area that I lost. Sorry about that. But it was okay. You didn't miss anything. I didn't choose the flowers. I liked the stars better. The flowers were not working for me with this particular layout. So I'm trying to lay around these stars around the paper. And I just think these stars look so cool, and I love, love, love this glimmer paper that came with this Peaceful Garden. Well, it didn't come with it, but it came. I could buy it in addition to this Peaceful Garden set. Just absolutely think it's beautiful. So I've got some smaller stars that set cuts out, as well as the great big scribble stars. And I'm just kind of sampling them around the page and seeing what I think before I kind of commit to starting to glue those down. And I thrown them in some random places, and I finally ended up, thinking, not sure I like these here, so I might go back and pause the camera for a second so I can take another look at it. And so I'm going to take a little break for a second. Okay, I think I have a better plan for where this is all going, so I'm going to start working on gluing some of this stuff down. And I did neglect to mention earlier that I cut out a white circle for my Spotlight on Nature dies for the background, and then those words, this is my story words, I used with my cutting in my Cricut, and I found those in Cricut Design Space and was able to get those cut out with my Peaceful Garden Glimmer paper, and I was really happy with the word story there, and then those other words just kind of arched over, and I just thought that was kind of cool on that Circle on Nature die. So I'm just kind of placing some of my stars all around the paper, and I'll keep tinkering with that. And it's a slow process, but I did want to make sure that you saw me do it. And I put little glue dots just in all the corners of the little stars, and they don't need a whole lot because I'm using that Barely Art glue. There it is. And the Barely Art glue, whenever it overflows, you don't see it. That's one of the reasons I love that particular kind of glue that I got on Amazon, is because the Barely Art glue does not show on the paper when it dries. At least I can't see it. And that is a big yes for me, because I do that glue overflow a lot when I glue things down. But I also find that the glue is definitely one of the best permanent things to get my stuff stuck down with, because glue runners, if you don't get the permanent stick ones, don't. Okay, so I've got it all put down, and here's a closer look at that. I think I've got them pretty evenly distributed around my three corners, and I like it. I'm really like it, but I do see like a blank spot over here, and I don't have very much other words on there. I'm thinking I wouldn't mind putting a few more words. So I pulled out a stamp set, and it's from Close to My Heart, and it was called From the Notebook. And it was a stamp of the month at one point for Close to My Heart. I could not even tell you when because I've had it a long time. I like that tag, and I like that one with the little arrow there. So I'm going to use Misty Moonlight, and I'm going to stamp those out onto some white cardstock, and then I'll use those as just some extra little embellishments on the page that I can, if I want to put a little extra wording on there, I can, and if I don't, I won't. And so I'm doing the practice of the stamping. I got to get the little sticky off of this. It's not been used very much or in a long time. So I'm going to stamp it out here, and I'll do a little quick test stamp on some scrap paper first just to make sure it's stamping okay. And then there it is. And I messed up a little, but I guess I'm going to live life on the edge and go ahead and put it on the white now. All right. Yeah. Soak it in. That looks pretty good. Do one more just for the heck of it. And I'll layer them up too to thicken them up because this is a fairly thin cardstock I was using here. Okay, that one looks better than the other one, so I'll use it. All right, and then now I'm cleaning off my stamp real quick here because I've got to swap it over to the one with the little arrow point at the bottom. And I'm going to put that, lay it out here on the table and get it straight. I didn't realize it came in two little pieces like that, so it takes me a minute to get that straightened up. But I want to make sure I put it on my block as straight as I can. And I'll give it a little test run here on the scrap paper to make sure that that is straight, so it looks like what I want it to look like, since it was not all one piece like I thought it was. Let me see here. It looks a little wonky, so I'm going to try and straighten it out a little bit. And then I'll give it another little test and see how it's looking. That looks good. One more time for the cheap seats in the back. Looks better. I'm going to make a little bit of an adjustment, and then I'm ready to stamp on my white paper. I keep a lot of my scraps for this purpose right here, so that whenever I try it, I always do several in case the first couple don't. I just plan on doing 2, 3, maybe 4 stamps. In this case, I'm doing 4 because I'm going to layer it up so it'll be a little thicker. All right, those two look okay. That one looks good. That's my best one so far. One more. Yeah, that one looks okay too. All right, so I've got a couple of good choices. I'll go in there and cut those out. And all right, there it is. I've got them stuck to the page, and I found a word to put on that one. And then the other one I've stuck on the other side a little higher up, the tag. I was able to squeeze it in back behind. And I couldn't find my blue ribbon, so I went ahead and put a brad on there, one of those, well, the little pieces on there. It's not a real brad. All right, I'm happy with that. And folks, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you soon. Here are the still shots. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd love for you to, and I'd love for you to check out some of my other videos. Have a good one.